Hello, class, to the second session of our course. This is Jose Mohit. So today we are going to focus on chapter 2 and 3. So we are going to work on the basic concepts, how to access our data that we have in our data sets, and then we will work on different assignments in class, some classworks. So during the lecture, whenever I mention, please pause the video. So make sure to pause the video and do the classwork on your side. Then you can again play the video and see the codes and the syntax that I put there for you. In this case, you have an option to practice, then check your coding and syntax with the one that I put it for you. Today, we are going to also review what we discussed in the last session. So today, keywords that we are going to focus on are again lib name, data, sets, proc, print, export, and import. So we will go through them again. Some of them more details. We will learn about the options that we can add to proc keywords. We have multiple type of options, so we will go through them. And like the last session, we will work on the syntax and run the syntax together in order to learn better. Okay, so one more time, let's talk about the library that we discussed also. So library is actually available for us to show us there is some permanent location in our PC. And as we discussed, uh, library can be divided in two categories, permanent and temporary. And work library is as an example of the uh, temporary library. So whenever you don't mention about the library, we always are talking about the work library, which is the temporary, which means whenever we end the session of the SAS and close the SAS software and reopen it again, so whatever you save on the work library, it's gone. So that was the difference between the temporary library and also the permanent library. So regarding the components of the lib name, as we also discussed before, so it starts with the keyword of the lib name, and then it goes with the library name, whatever we want, class, whatever we would like to have, and then the location of the library that we will specify. For example, we create some specific folder in our desktop, and then we address that folder. So, for example, in my case, I'm using the Hostel library folder on my desktop, and also we can see that it's a start again with the lib name. So start with the car, that's the library that I would like to name it, and then also the address. Again, this address is totally different on your machine. So just you need to make sure whatever folder that you're creating on your desktop is an example. It's easier for you to just put your folder on desktop, like we discussed last session. So that's considered as the address for creating this function. So let's a little play with the data set that is already available on SAS. So you can have the cars data sets in the SAS help library. So we can go through that one and see what is in the cars library. So it's already located in the SAS help library, and we will work on it. And we can make a copy of that specific library in the SAS help, okay, to the library that we just created as a car, and we name it as a cars again. So let's go to the SAS and let's run these together, and we can see the results. And also we can print the whatever inside of the data. So let's go to the SAS. Okay, so here in SAS, I already created a folder on my desktop. So in the PowerPoint, I mentioned Hossein library. Here I changed it to the SAS. It's easier. So again, it starts with the lib name function, and then the car, that's the name I would like to choose for my library. right now we can see on the library here, uh, this is the all predefined library in the SAS, the work library, which is the temporary one. And we can see that with the lib name, car, and the address, if I select and run it, now we just created a car library as a permanent library here, which is located on my desktop on the SAS folder. Okay, so now we would like to create a copy of the cars data to the car library. So as we mentioned, if you go to the SAS help, that's the available library on your SAS software, there is a cars data set here. So if I click on it, we can see it just addressed different model of car with different features. So let's close it. Now I would like to have the copy of this one, okay, on my car library that I just created, okay? So let's go back to the previous menu. Now, if I go to the car, it's empty. So that's the dataset function that we learned last session. So the output one is gonna be cars2 as a dataset, and it's gonna be in the car library that we just created here, okay? So the input one, it's gonna be cars from SAS help library. So if I just select and run, now if I go to the car, I can see that the cars2 created here, okay? So we can just easily with the product print option, product print function, so we can just select product print a data. What is the data? The data is cars2 in the car library. So let's run it. And as we see, so that's the report of the data. Again, what we saw previously, now we have it in the HTML format output of the SAS. So let's close it for now. So far we just created a library. We called it car on the SAS in our desktop. And then we created a copy of the cars library from the SAS help into the car library, and we name it as a cars2. And then we just use the product print function in order to show what is in the data sets. Okay, so let's go back to the PowerPoint. So there is some extra option for us when we are printing data. Okay, so for example, imagine the data set that we just printed has almost 400 something observation. Okay, so for example, maybe we just need some specific number of that data set. I don't know. I just need to see the first 20, the first 10, or I don't know. I would like to see the observation that starts from the observation 15 to 20. Okay, in that case, we need to use the option function. So in the option function, it's almost the syntax is the same, but we are just adding the option here at the end of the first line. So it again starts with the product print. When we are saying product print, which means we are printing some data. Okay, the data keyword is here. And then we would like to print the cars2 that I just created in the car library. Okay, here is it. I wrote cars, but the one that we created is cars2. The name doesn't matter as long as you just make sure that whenever you use cars2 is the same for the rest of the codes, you are fine. If you name it cars, make sure to just use cars in your syntax. Again, the name doesn't matter as long as they are stay the same during the coding process. Okay. So uh, as I said, the product print data car library, the dataset name is cars. And now I would like to just observe the first 10 observation. Okay. Now, if I go to the codes, here we have the print first 10 observation. So again, proc print data. What is the data? The data set is cars 2 because I name it cars 2 and in a car library. Okay. And I would like to just see the first 10 observations. So let's select and run. Now we can see this is the previous output, which we had 428 uh, observation records. Now we just printed the first two. So as you see, sometimes you need to have different outputs and you don't like to, for example, just print all of the data sets. Now we know that how we can just select a specific number of the records in our printed version. Okay. So okay, so for example, we just learned how to print, for example, the first 10 observation. Okay, now what if we want to, for example, have the 10 observation, 11 observation, whatever observation, but for example, start from the number 10 observation. What should we do in this case? So let's first understand this part. As I mentioned, what if you do wanted to print 11 observation, but it starts with observation number 10, which means I would like to see number 10, number 11, number 12, number 13 to number 20. In this case, I am just printing 11 observation, which start from observation 10 and which we will end by observation 20. In this case, I am printing exactly 11 observation. So in this case, the code is the same. The point is the observation and the first OBS or the first observation syntax would add it to the code. So the first one, first observation, it's telling us the first record, the first observation that we would like to start, which is the 10. And then the last observation that we would like to visit, which is the observation 20. In this case, if you just count on your side, you will again see 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 is going to be the 11th observation. Okay. So let's go to the code. Now, if I run this syntax, which is proc print data, again, the same car library, cars two datasets from the car library. This time the first observation is 10 and the observation is 20. Okay, so if I just run this function, we can see this time that we start from observation 11 and we have observation 20 here. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 observation, which started from observation 10 and end in observation 20. So as I mentioned, the first OBS keywords, it shows the number of the first observation to process. In previous example, we had 10, which we will start from 10. And OBS or observation, it's specify the number of last observation to process. So in this case, it's 20. So it starts from observation 10 to observation 20. So let's see this example. If a data set has a 30 observations, okay? So I would like to start with observation 15 and finish with the observation 20 or record 20 or row 20. Okay, so how many records will be printed? So just think for a while. Okay, so we can see that It starts from observation 20 and from it start from observation 15 and in observation 20. So we will have observation 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we will print 6 records in this library. Okay, so we just talked about the options by adding to the syntax like proc print to do some modification in the output result. Okay, so we have two type of options. The first one, the system options or global options. The second one, local options. By global option, it means whatever option is already there, it's there, they will change if you modify them. For example, when I am using just proc print alone, okay, whatever option is set, it's there. I don't change anything. Okay. But when I added some options like the first ops or ops, in this case, I am doing some modification to the proc print function or to whatever function. In this case, it means we are adding some options to that specific function. So now we can say we have some local function. So local only affect the data sets or the specific procedure. Most procedure, including data steps that we saw, they have option. So uh, as I mentioned, the first OBS or the OBS, they are considered as a local option in the proc print procedure. So the proc print procedure that we usually use, so the general syntax is always start with proc print, some data sets, and then run. Okay. But if you use the proc print with the data set that we have, and then, for example, use the first observation 5, the last observation 15, in this case, what we are doing, we are printing just from the fifth observation to the 15th observation, which means we are doing some modification to the proc print function, which means we are adding some local option to the proc print function. Okay, so let's learn more about the local option versus global option. Okay, so let's go to the code first. I need to show you something. Okay, so as we saw here, this is the proc print function. So the proc print function data, the cars, two data sets from the car library. So there is no extra option here. So we are technically using whatever is available as a global option here. But in this case, in these two examples, we are adding the observation and first obs and the observation to this proc print, which means we are just specifically add some options to these proc prints. So these are considered as a global option, as a local option. But when we are talking about the global option, we can use this function as the options, okay? So this one, when we use options at the first part of the syntax, then whatever we run, it's gonna run based on this line that we add, okay? If I didn't have this line and just run proc print data, cars to data set from the car, it will print all the 428 function. But when I added this one options before this proc print, so right now I am just creating some limitation for the output based on this function. So as we can just understand this function, it says options. Okay, we have some options, which is global because it's not exactly related or inside the proc print option. Okay, and we would say we want to start from observation 10 and end in observation 18. Okay, so let's go back to the PowerPoint. So this is all the syntax that I am just going to show you on the SAS part. So I will prefer to show it over there rather than here. But I put all of them here for you. So if you already run the syntax with me so far based on your data, based on your address. Sorry, my mouse is a little sensitive. Based on your address on your device, so you can just easily copy, paste, and these on your machine. But I would recommend you to just try to type uh, codes on your side in order to learn better. But let's go to the SAS. So right now we are first defining some options. So let's run it. We just learn right now ran the options function, which starts from the 10 and observation 18. Okay. So right now we have the prod print function. We are gonna printing a data. What is the data? The data is cars2 in the car library. Okay. And we just add one more line, just learn it now. So we call it as a title, and I just put prints uh, the 10th to 18 cases that we have here. So because we are printing from observation 10 to observation 18, okay? So let's run these 3 lines. So now we can see we have the title that we just put here. Otherwise, we just had the SAS systems uh, title. We just added a title to this. So it start from observation 10 and it ends by observation 18. So you saw what's the difference right now. Because we added some option here, which is the global, because again, it's not located into the proc print or whatever proc function. It's considered as a uh, global option. But here we can see that we are using some local option for the first observation 15 and the use global option for observation 18. Okay, there is a rule. Whenever you have the whatever global option, like here, first observation 10, second observation, the last observation 18. Okay, when you add a local option to your whatever function, whatever proc print, proc output, whatever, this local option is gonna overwrite the global option, which means if I didn't have this line, if I print this case, it's gonna print from the 10th to 18 cases, okay? But now I just add a new options, or let's say I just add a new limitation. So it's gonna show us from the first observation 15. But still, there is one limitation left from the global option, which is observation 18. So let's print this one, and we can see right now, this time we have 15, 16, 17, 18. Instead of starting from observation 10, this time it start from observation 15 because we added a local option. But still, because we have the global option, which ends on observation 18, so now we have these just for observation. And I just changed the title to print cases 15 to 18. Let's see this one. So this time, again, we are adding a local option. But this time, we said, okay, the first observation 10, and the last observation 16, I mentioned there is a rule. Whenever you add a local option, it's gonna override the global option. If I didn't have this line, we have to just see the observation 10 to observation 18. But right now we have the new limitation. We have the new option, which is the local option. So if I print this line, I can see that right now we have from observation 12 to observation 16. So again, the local option override the global option that we have. And the last one, so again, we have product print, we have the cars 2 from the car library. Again, this time we have the new options. But the point is the difference is right now, here the first option is 5 and the last option is gonna be 20. The global option we had was from 10 to 18. The rule, the local option override global option for the function that we have proc print. So it doesn't matter that we had 10 to 18, okay? But if I add the new local option, okay, so it's gonna print from 5th to 20. So let's run it. So we see here, it's gonna put it from observation 5 to observation 20. So that's the case of the options, local and global. As long as you have the global option, it's gonna print based on the global option. But when you add whatever local option, that local option is gonna override the global option that we have. Okay, so you can find all the syntax that I just ran it for you here. But let's go back again to the SAS. These lines that you can see here, they are not in the PowerPoints. So it's not a big deal, the codes, but I just wanted to show you something. There is a function which we call it as a proc mean. So proc mean just give you some descriptive analysis of the data, whatever data you have. Okay, it gives you the mean, average, variance, those things. So we will see. So like the proc print that we had, here we just have proc means. So it's not a very strange function. Just instead of proc print, we have proc means. So it says proc means data. What is the data? Cars 2 from the car library. And what is the title? I would like to add the title just for make it more easier to understand. Descriptive analysis. Okay. Since right now I already ran the options first observation from 10 to 18, so this time whenever I ran this prog mean function, it will still work based on the global option that we already ran. Okay, so let's run it. Now we can see the descriptive analysis, the title that I meant. I put it there, but it's a means procedure. So the variable we have here, as we can see, MSRP, I don't know, invoice, those that are numeric. Okay, so the all the analysis they are just working on the numeric variables, not the text variable. So invoice, engine size, cylinder, and we can see the number of observation, the mean or average, the standard deviation, minimum, maximum. So it's, for example, go here and run the mean function, average function, go and run the standard deviation, and what is the minimum and what is the maximum. It just gives you some, again, analysis for just understand better about the data set. But the point is, as you see, the number of observation is just 9, which means it just printed from again observation 10 to observation 18. If we count, it's gonna be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So as we see, the number of observation, it's gonna be 9. So that's the one of the function that we learned. And what if, for example, if we would like to have the analysis, but just for one specific variable? Here, the variables that we have was MSRP invoice, all of them. So I would like to just have a report for the cylinders. That's it. So I would go here, function still is the same because we have global option already ran. So we have it from the first observation 10 to observation, the last one 18. And this time I would just put the variable VAR as a keyword. And I just want to see the cylinder. So this time I change the title to descriptive analysis for cylinder variable. So if I run it, we can see this time it's exactly the same result here. Here we have the cylinder and we have the mean 6.22 here, 6.22. Standard deviation is 0.66, 0.66, minimum and maximum 6 and 8. So we just make it a little specific, just specifically for cylinder variable. And one more time, another example. As I mentioned, when we add a local option, we are gonna overwrite the global option. The global option was from 10 to 18, but here I would like to see just 12 to 16, okay? So which means 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, which means we are gonna just see 5 observation, 5 items, 5 records, 5 rows. So right now we have the analysis just for the 5 observation, which started from observation 12 to observation 18. So this time the mean, the average is 6 just for that 5 observation and the minimum maximum as 0. Sorry. So the minimum maximum is 0. So for sure the standard deviation is, sorry, the minimum maximum is 6. So the standard deviation is 0. So let's go back to it. Okay. Now, if you see, we have the observation and the global option 18. And what if if I would like to remove this limitation? Just easily, I can just run the observation equal to max. So if I add this line, option observation equal to max. Okay, so let's run it. And now let's go and, for example, run this one again. So we can see this time the number of observation changed from the 9 to 417 because again we still have the first observation from 10 and the total observation was 428, so the number of observation is 417. So that's the uh, rules for eliminating the global option limitation for the ops section. So we have also more options that we will go through the semester. For example, we can just specify the line size, the page size, display page number. We can just add something more to the printed version that we have uh, in our functions. So like the options could be line size, number, and page size. Again, we will work more through the semester for them. And they are just need to be close to the options keyword. So for example, options, page size equals something. Options, line size equals something. So here, for example, we can see the example. Options, line size 90 and page size 66. But there is a point. This one works on the PDF version of the output. The output version that we have here is the HTML. So yeah, if you see it's a SAS HTML, okay? So if I ran this line right now, nothing happened here. But when I wanna, for example, have some PDF export, in that case, this line would work. We will go through the semester. Just wanted to give you the idea about the adding more options. So one question that we will have. The question is how long the libref remains in effect. So the lib name function statement, it's a global statement. Okay. So they will remain in effect until you modify it or cancel it or end your SAS session. So even though we are saying that the library is permanent, but it just means that the data, data sets in your SAS library, which is in your physical storage, for example, for mine is on the SAS folder on the desktop, they are permanent, but not the libref function. So whenever you want to run it, you still need to assign a libref to each permanent library that you have. Okay, so that's the point that you need to know. So now we have the classwork part. So for the classwork, please make sure to pause here, try to challenge yourself, write the syntax on your side, then again play the video, and then you will see the results for each of these three questions in the following slides. So the first one is use the code to assign a SAS library called class. We already did this last session, but I wanted to again remind you this one. So use the data set to create a permanent copy of the data sets iris in the class library and use the data steps to create a temporary copy of the iris datasets. So just the iris dataset is already on the SAS help function, SAS help library, but I also put it on the D2L as well. So you can also download it from D2L and put it in your uh, SAS folder or whatever folder that you have on your desktop. But maybe it's easier to just use the one that is already available in the SAS help. We will see the function. So let's pause the video and then come back. Okay, I hope you already been through the syntax and now let's work together. So the first one is use code to assign a SAS library called class. Okay, this time just for having a better performance on my side, I created a new folder on my desktop as a SAS2. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that I do not uh, interfere with the previous library that I have. So I am just creating the library called class, which we know how to do it. Use the lib name function. The name is class and the address is the one that you are seeing. Your address is different. So let's run it. So if I go to Explorer right now, we can see that there is a class created here. Okay. So the second one is they use the data step process, okay, to create a copy of the iris data available in the SAS help and move it to the class library that you just created. So if I go to the SAS help, if I scroll down, I will see the iris library here. So if I just click on it, we can see that that's the iris library. Okay. So let's uh, go back to the syntax. Okay, so as we see, uh, the iris is in the SAS help. So let me come back. Okay. So we would like to create the iris, the copy of the iris on the class library that we just created. And also we can see if I can find it on the SAS help library and the data set is iris. So the output, the input. So the same way that we learned before. But just one quick point. Because we are already running the syntax in the same session that we are with the previous syntax, so we had the options as a global options that just shows us the first observation from 10 to observation 18, which we changed it later to the max. I just would like to change this one to 1 and this one max again because I don't like to have that global option on this homework and in this classwork assignments. if you close the SAS and run it again, you wouldn't have these options, global options. But in my case, because I am still running uh, the data sets, the syntax on the same session that we are working, so that's why I am just running this one. Now, whatever I'm gonna print or whatever I'm gonna doing, it's gonna start from the first observation and the maximum observation that's available in the data set, whatever it is. So just that's a quick point that I need you to know. Again, if you close the SAS and run it again for the class works, you would be fine. But since I am still running on the previous session, so I had to run this one, okay? So nothing big deal. So, okay, now I'm gonna create. So if I go to the log, we can see that there were 115 observation that created. So if I go to the class library here, now I can see the uh, iris is available here. So the third one, use the data steps to create a temporary copy of the iris datasets. So when we are talking about the temporary, which means we would like to have the copy of it on the work library. So still the input is the iris dataset from the class library, which we just created, and the output is gonna be iris in the work library. I can put work here, and also at the same time, I can just not having work here, okay? Because it's a temporary. And we mentioned whenever we don't mention a library, SAS assume that you are using the temporary library. So let's run it. So right now, if I go to the work library, I can see that the iris also created here. Okay, so let's go back to the codes. So the syntax are here for the as first assignment, first class work, the second task, and the third task. Now we have four more tasks here. So the first one is again print all observation from the iris datasets. Now the second one, print the first five observation. The fifth one, print observation from 20 to 30. And then set up some properties to there is a line between the pages and limit the number of the lines that appear on page as well as the number of the characters per line. Experiment with the different combination of the values until you get a nice looking printout. But again, for this seventh one, since we are just having the output on the HTML version, as I mentioned, so whatever you do here, it doesn't show in your output. So just wanted to put it here for you to know how to work with it, but you cannot see the output because you are using the HTML report version, not the PDF version. And the last one, use the procedure to verify the option that you set. So the last seven and eight we will see together, but let's again pause the video here and run at least 4, 5, 6 on your side. Then I will show you about the seven and eight. So please pause the video. Okay, so I hope you already been through the coding. So let's go to the SAS. So the fourth task is the print out all the observation from the iris, the data set that we have. So simple. We have the prog print function. When we are saying prog print, which means we are printing something, printing some data. Okay, so we need to have data here. What is the data? Data is iris from the class library that we just created. And I would like to add a title here just to make it more beautiful. That's it. So let's run. So we can see the iris data here, and that's the HTML output that we have. Okay, so let's go to the next task, which is the only print the first five observation. So we need a local option. The function is almost the same, But the point is, we just need the first five observations. So we would like the observation to five. So let's print it. And now we have just observation 1 to 5. That's it. The sixth one, only print observation from 20 to 30, which means we would like to start from 20 and finish at the 30 observation. Okay? So same function, proc print data. Data is class IRS. And first observation is gonna be the starting point 20 and then the ending point, which is the 30. So if I run it, I will have 11 output from 20 to 30, and we can see the result here as well. And for the 7 and 8, as I mentioned, since we are working on the HTML version, we cannot see the difference for now at least. We will talk about it later in the course. But again, we would have the options. For example, line size 90, page size 66. So if I just run this one, the quit doesn't matter here. So now you see if I go to the log, just it says that this line ran, so nothing happened. But we can use the proc options uh, to make sure that these are already applied to the coding. So I can say proc options, options is line size. So if I run it, just look at in the log option. So just a sec, please. Okay, so it confirms that the line size right now changed to 90 because we set it 90. And if I ran this one, sorry. Okay, if I ran this one, it's gonna confirm that the page size is 66. That's it. It's just for the confirmation for us. That's it. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. So we can see the uh, coding here. So you can check it with yours and hope they are the same that we have. Okay, so now let's have again some review on the two type of data that we can have, the numeric one and the non-standard data. So the numeric one, they are just contain only numbers, decimal points, and letter E for scientific notation. And also we can have the plus and minus sign as well. But the non-standard data, so it's a numeric data that contain a special characters like dollar sign, percent sign, or comma, data value, or something else. So we're gonna work again on the exporting data function, proc export, and also proc import that we worked last week as well. So to proc export, as we also talked last week, uh, so this structure is almost similar, and also it's so easy to understand. So let's go. So it start with the data that you would like to export in whatever library that's available, and where you are gonna put the exported file, you need to give it the address, and what is the database management systems, XLS, CSV, text, whatever. And if it's available there, let's replace it. Otherwise, just we usually put replace here. And if we would like to name for that sheet, okay, I would like to name it as a cars. So let's go to the SAS. So the first one, let's start with the proc export, and the data is the cars 2 that already available in the car library that we created by first of the meeting. So we have the cars too in the car library, and the out file, I would like to just put it into the SAS folder that I have, the one that I created first, and the name is going to be mycars.xls. The database manager is XLS, replace sheets. So let's run it. So it's run without any error. So if I open the SAS folder right now, my cars is available here, and the type is the Excel version XLS. Okay. So if I want to, for example, print it, export it as a CSV, everything the same, except we don't have we are removing this one here, but you can also put it here. It doesn't matter. So we can see that the product export data is the cars to from the car library, and the out file address is this one in the SAS library I have. Yours is different. And let's run it. So done. If I go to the SAS library, now I have the my cars. That is the CSV format, or comma separated values format. And also we can also export it as a text file with the delimiter. So the format is again proc export data cars to in the car library. Out file is the same, just this time my cars text. The database manager system, this car is gonna be DLM, okay? Replace, and delimiter, I would like to have these pipes. So yeah, just let's uh create it. Now if I go here, I can see the my cars, and we can see it's gonna separate it by these pipes. So uh we can see that we delimited with this version. So let me close this. And let's go back to the code. So we have the exporting data for the XLS function, for the CSV, and also for the uh, pipe delimited file that we would like to have in the text file. But the delimited version is gonna be the pipe. So we can see I put the screenshot for you here as well. So this proc export, proc import, they are very powerful function. There are always another method to do the export, but these two are the one of the best options, and they are so powerful. But for example, it needs just some extra work. For sure, it's required more SAS code to be created, and you need to know a little better about the SAS. But there is another version for exporting data, which we call it as a list output. So it is start with the data. Since we are not creating data, we put it the underline, null underline. So the data sets is the cars 2 in the car library. I would like to have it in my SAS folder, and I name it this time my cars 1 because I already have my cars created over there. I just didn't want to remove the previous one. But the point is you can define some list on it. So I would like to, for example, have make, model, type, origin, drivetrain, MPG city, MPG highway, that's it. So if I go to the code, this time I am just exporting to the text with the list output. So the lists are here. So instead of using proc import, we are using the data underline null underline. So if I just run it, so it's run without any error. So if I go to the SAS folder, I can see the my cars one here. So it just have those columns that I mentioned. That's it. And also there is another way. instead of, for example, addressing file here, it's just extra, I believe, word, but that's it. You can first define the file name. For example, I would like to be a file name as an out file, the address, this time my cars 2, okay? And then the code is almost the same. Just instead of put the address here on the file section, for the file section, I would put the out file, the one that I defined here. That's it. So everything is the same, just the different structure of printing, exporting, sorry. So right now we have the, uh, just give me a sec. Yes, let's run it. Now we have the my cars here as well. Okay, so I forgot to run this line. That's why we didn't have this uh, my cars 2 on the SAS folder. So we need to run these together. Okay, so now if I run it, if I go to the SAS folder, we can see the my cars 2 is also here. The same like the one that we had on the my cars 1. So that's the structure of the also the data null function. So we need to just set whatever data set in whatever library. We need to address the file name, file address, and also if we have some variables like the one we would like to have here, make, model, type, origin, others, we can just put it here. There's also option to exporting with the graphical user interface, which we are not gonna cover it. So let's have the second class work part of the class. So in these 5 tags that we are seeing here, uh, the same, please pause the video and do it on your side, then play video and check with my result. So the first one, we would like to use the proc export to export the iris datasets that we already have it in our class library to Microsoft Excel. So also make sure that the Excel is created well. Then we are gonna work on the use proc export to export the origin into the CSV file, and then the text file, but with just these 3 variables: species, spal length, and spal width. And then we would like to export it with the pipe delimited version, okay, with only the first 10 observation, and the 13th one export the iris set to a pipe delimited file, but included our observation after the 10th, okay. And the bonus question, I mean, there's no credit for it, but just work on your side. Export just the record with the species set to start to a CSV file. So let's pause the video here and come back again when you did all of these 5 tasks on your side. Okay, so hope you already worked on the syntax. So let's go to the SAS. So the first one is exporting the data set iris to an Excel file. So in our database, we already created a copy of iris into the class. And also we know that the iris also available in the SAS help library. But since we already created on the class, so we are working on this one. So proc export, okay, we would like to export something. We would like to export some data. What is the data? Data is iris datasets in the class library. Also, it can be on the SAS help library. So where you want to put it, I would like to make a copy of it on the SAS2 folder. SAS2 folder for me, I created just for the class work. It doesn't matter as long as we are in the same direction for all the syntax. And the database management system is, sorry, we were here, is XLS, XLS, and replace, and the sheet name is IRIS or Iris. So let's just run it. Okay, it's run without any error. Okay, now we are gonna go to the SAS2 folder. We can see the iris file here. So let's open it to make sure everything is correct. Yes, it is correct. Okay, so everything is here. And as you saw, the sheet name was iris. Okay, the second one is uh, the same, but this time just a CSV. So proc export data is the iris from the class library. Out file is the address that we have. Database management system is CSV. So let's run it. Uh, Now we can see that this is here, the file. And so let's close it. And the 11th, export the data set to the CSV file, but only export the following variable, the species, sepal length, and sepal width. Okay. So it's a CSV file, but as I mentioned, we are gonna have just some specific variables. So we are using the out list. So here the data underline null underline set is the class library, the iris data set. The address of the file is this one. Okay. But we need to have some extra things here. DSD and the delimiter that we have. The delimiter here, we are gonna put it with the uh, comma. And for the variables, just species, sepal, length, and sepal width. So if I run it, so if I go to the SAS2, we will have the iris one here that just created, and it just have these three columns. So let me go back to the 11. So this 11 that we just talked, this DST, it considered as a delimiter sensitive data. So we need to tell SAS, okay, this is the delimiter sensitive data, which means we are gonna have a delimiter with the comma here. We can have the pipe here. We can have just a space here. We can have comma. It's gonna separate uh, the file. So as I mentioned, explained about this DLM and the DSCT, so you can read these too. So the 12th one, export the data sets to a pipe delimited file with all variables, but limit to only 10 observation. Okay, so again, this is the outlist version, so data is null. And then the data is iris from the class library. But the point is we just need to have the first 10 observations. So first observation is gonna be 10. The address the same, just this time iris 2 in order to just make sure not copying, creating on the previous file. Again, DSD you need to have it here, and the delimited here is gonna be sorry, I was in the 10, 12 one. I just went to the 13 one. So everything is the same, just the observation, the number of observation we would like to see are 10, and the delimiter is pipe. Okay. So, and also the variables are species, sepal length, and sepal width. So if I just run it, now if I go here, there is a iris text that we have it with the pipe link. So we can see the also the screenshot here. I put it here for you. You just compare it with yourself. And the next one, export the dataset to the space delimited version. So instead of comma or pipe, we are gonna have the space. So everything's the same, but this time, but include all observation after the first 10. Okay. So we are gonna start from 10. The previous version, we just wanted to see the first 10. Here we are gonna start from 10. That's a local option. The address iris2, I put it the variables here. So if I ran the iris2, so I can see that in the SAS folder now we have the iris2. This time they are just separated by space, not a comma or pipe. Okay. Okay, so I hope you already worked in the syntax, and let's go to the last part of today's lecture. So there is just one quick point I need to mention for you. So whenever, for example, you are dealing with dates on SAS, for example, when you put it 9094, SAS would use it as a, for example, 94 or vice versa. So uh, there might be some confusion. For example, if you put it 1910 uh, or 2010, SAS would assume that both are the year 10. They are a little bit confusion for it. Okay. So that's why the default year cutoff is 1920. So it's interpret the 100 years spans from 1920 to 2019, for example. So what does it mean? It means when I put the year 10, SAS assume it is 2010, not 1910, because 1910 is not available here. And for example, if I put 69, it's gonna assume it's a 1969, not 2069. So what does it mean? Uh, for example, uh, as I mentioned, the year cutoff is 1920, okay? But we have the options to change it. So we can change the option, the year cutoff to 1940. So which means SAS is gonna assume that 100 years from 1940 to 2039, okay? So which means when I put 8, 26, 15, since 15 is gonna be here as a 2015, not 1915, it's gonna assume, interpret it as a 2015. When I put 65, it's not gonna think, okay, this is the 2065, because we don't have it in this span. So we have it here after 1940. So 1965 here. If I put 90, it's not gonna think this is the 2090. It's gonna think this is the 1990. And the same for 48. But if I change the cutoff to 1960, SAS assume this is the 100 years from 1960 to 2059. Okay. So almost all of them are the same, but here, if I put 48, since 1948 is not in this interval, it's gonna assume this is gonna be a 2048, which is in this interval. So it's not a big deal. I just wanted to mention to you how the SAS would handle these two-digit years. How we can figure it out with the options statement that we have that we have. So okay, guys, thank you for watching this video. We are almost done with today's lecture. So feel free to reach out to me, email me, and like other students that they have already been into my office. So you can also come to my office hour in person or online, whatever works for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and otherwise, see you next week. And thank you so much.